and we're back to stabbing ghosts and ghouls of all kinds with my trusty pocket knife here in colonial America. Although, I'll be honest, the melee is going to be going away soon enough in favor for using a short bow, because, yes, I do kill every single one of the skeletons in a single hit, but at this point in the game, there's a lot of them. Like, a lot of them, and it's going to be harder to wildly swing around enough before I just get totally mobbed and die. But until that point, hey, I finally got the spade. Told about that all the way back in the first episode, that there was supposed to be one in that first area, but it was stolen or something, and then all the way in the final episode, I can now dig up those piles of stones around here. Not that really is that important. I'm not going to be getting anything like a water skin or whatever from doing that, but it does give you an awful lot of money, and I think some of the better equipable items in the game. No. I mean, it's good, but it's mostly just so now I can finally sweep through each of the areas and actually properly 100% them.
Now, what can you actually buy? Is there, are there merchants and stuff? You just get
Well, you do buy all of your ammo.
Okay.
I mean, you can find ammo from enemies and just kind of like all over the place and whatnot. But for the most part, I just go to a shop pretty much all the time and just top off on any sort of ammo type necessary, which after I stop using melee, that's going to be a little bit more important.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, and there is the last of the page scraps, I believe, in this area as well. That means that I'm just looking for the bell, which is, of course, just right outside of the fort the entire time. Yeah, that's right. I went around the map. I did seemingly everything, including going all the way over to the side of it purely to get that spade when, yeah, that's where the bell was. I don't know how I missed it.
Did you actually 100% this game?
I did.
Okay.
Like straight up, I got like everything.
And what was your?
I do genuine. I'll say this. Yes, I'm not a huge fan of open world games, but I do gotta say that the open world sort of style, the run around and try to go find all the stuff on the map to get it. It's a good gameplay loop.
Yeah, it's a little bit like an MMO without all the, the stakes of I've got to keep up with my dailies.
Not disappointing everybody in your raid group, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
boy.
Also having to finish a collection that never ends.
Yes, that is literally getting updated all the time.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, though, with the bell, that means that, you ring it and had to actually fight some enemies there, which, again, you could see the health was going down pretty quickly there. Even though, again, I was killing them all in one hit. Unring it, and we got the maiden here for, I think this is the last time she moves, that she actually just stays here for the rest of the game. As we start to find out a little bit more about her her past. And more? How many of these? I thought I cleared out this place. Whatever.
It's weird that we have a word called unring that you would never use. It's just in that expression, you can't unring that bell.
Yeah, that's true. I did say unring.
Yeah.
Which I suppose it's one of those things like decelerate.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not
still
a thing you do.
You're still accelerating, you're just going to zero.
Yes, or you're going backwards. It's
you're accelerating.
You don't reverse accelerate.
Well, I do think
for example.
decelerate makes sense. It just means accelerate in the opposite direction.
Yes, but unring definitely doesn't.
Yeah. Unring is
silence a bell, I suppose, would be a little bit better, but
unring presupposes time travel.
Well, maybe it does.
You have
we are going to be getting. This is the final episode of the series, and maybe we're going to finally get all of the answers as to what's going on here. Certainly, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would hope so. You introduced all this stuff with the conquistadors, the skeletons.
Yeah, we got magic conquistadors. We got all these ghosts. We got this other world and everything.
What does it all mean? What is it saying about human nature, and do you agree or disagree?
And we will definitely be finding out over the course of this.
This is going to
be a lot more. This is going to be a lot more plot heavy compared to some of the other ones, because although I said that I wasn't really going to be doing a lot of the the side, the ghosty stories. We are at least going to be doing the main one, of course, with the Maiden in Red.
When you got me on this series, I remember you said to me, like, oh, one of the great things about this game that you probably won't like it for the first 3 quarters, but when they start resolving all those questions, it's kind of beautiful how they tie everything together and make you feel like even the stuff that you didn't enjoy, even the stuff before that, was really satisfying, because the ending was inevitable but satisfying, like unexpected but inevitable. It just feels like it.
We're referencing all the talk that we were doing about twisting video games before we started recording.
Oh, yeah, but you said that this game in particular, when we started this, you said this would have a great plot.
You really think that it's like, what are like skeletons and this Silent Hill style otherworld have to do with colonial America and everything? And let me tell you, the way that it just it's woven into a tapestry of a story.
You told me, listen, you can trust me. I would never betray you.
Yes, I put my hands on your shoulders, stared directly into your eyes, and I said that in a very low, ominous voice.
Yeah, trust me. Just trust me.
Look, you are not going to... Okay, now that's more like Santa Claus.
That was kind of like Santa Claus crossed with Chief Palpatine.
I can't do an ominous voice. What can I say? It's just gonna sound stupid.
No, you know that sounded like Wilford Brimley. Now that I'm like thinking about it,
I'll take it.
I'm Wilford Brimley.
I'm Wilford Brimley. I just hear Santa. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas.
There's some overlap there.
But anyway, yes, as per usual at any one of the large camps, going around and got to go clear out each one of the special magic corrupt totems. I don't know. I think they're just called totems. What does it say on the map? I don't even remember at this point in time.
They're dark totems.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
It's like and this is actually the last one of these that we're going to be doing. Yeah,
No.
because like I was saying, the Maiden Red doesn't move anywhere else, so this is kind of the final stop here in terms of the big areas.
By the way,
Though that does not mean that it's going to be any easier to get around and do all this sort of stuff. They are bringing out the big guns in terms of enemies, after all.
By the way, just the whole thing where you've got like these corrupted totems that you just fix,
which is definitely going to be explained by the end in that beautiful way that I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly, and it's of course it's historically accurate. But just like that, I do think it's satisfying that you're going around the map taking these things that are like imagine a game that's just an open world where you just have to flip switches up into the up position from the down position, or vice versa, and you just have to go around and you just have to find them, and it's a really like you put your hand on it, you bring it down, it's this nice satisfying clunk. Wouldn't that be a great game? That's all you do. You just look around for switches.
I don't know what the reference here is supposed to be.
It's not a reference. I just think it would be a satisfying open world game.
I mean, we did sort of do that with like The Witness.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually.
Although they weren't actually switches, they were just
puzzles.
They were actual puzzles.
Yeah, and the other puzzles.
I mean, there were some of them that were like switches. Remember the very first one in the game? That basically just worked exactly as a switch would.
They opened doors and stuff, and they were actually connected electronically. Remember, like they have like wires going from them. Yeah,
as far as like open world stuff goes, I did like the way that was done.
Very
Even
satisfying.
if some of the puzzles were absolutely absurd. I'm still looking at you, Sound Forest, and like the sun reflection one. Those aren't even real puzzles. Those are just find the right. People called me out for talking about that way too much on the video. I just remember that right now.
Well, in fairness, the whole thing where you're representing the reality is. I mean, I thought that was a big part of the game. Just my take.
Anyway. And then, the way that everything came together, woven into an incredible tapestry of narrative by the end witness.
Now, in fairness, I feel like the witness actually did achieve that if you just take all of the story elements and all of that stuff and just talk about
Throw
it
them in the trash.
If you're just talking about it as the puzzles kept progressing. The puzzles built on one another. The puzzles just kept getting harder. So I think the puzzles succeeded wildly.
We can talk about this for every single video game.
What I would say about The Witness is I think
what sort of video games get easier with time? Actually, like Kid Icarus, I remember did.
Okay.
That was one of those weird, very weird in the way that actually, like, as you go through the game and you become more powerful, the difficulty curve goes down more.
Well, I think that's kind of it's hard to make games get harder in a way that feels interesting. I mean, that's almost one of the basic problems of games. How do you feel like this game scaled? Just in terms of the gameplay.
Well, I mean, as you can see, they introduced a lot of new different types of enemies, and they introduced a lot more of them over time. So,
do you feel like it scaled well?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I would actually say that obviously it's not the hardest game. Of course, as you see me punch through skeletons' rib cages effortlessly. But certainly the fact that I did eventually have to switch up my strategy a little bit is telling that it's not just entirely the same thing. You know.
It's not just dumb like, oh, well, I just, hammer against the wall kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like Ghost of Tsushima or whatever, where it's just, okay, I just press the use item button and everybody around me dies. I enjoyed a lot of parts of that game, but the combat was pretty simple.
I gotta say, I will say it seems like as a game, this is fine. Like, if we're just talking about as the gameplay...
I was saying earlier, it's just like, I think like the whole running around the map, getting all the stuff, and, accomplishing all of this. Hey, it's James Markley, the governor, the Lord Governorship.
Oh, okay.
Even as a ghost, you can see his mutton chops. Actually, I'm not even... Maybe he just has jowls. It's hard to say. But, it does feel very satisfying to go and, literally rip the silver skulls off of those ghosts to sell.
Yeah, so
everything.
It's like just as a
pure... find all the junk.
Seems like
that's pretty fun.
As a pure dopamine generating or consuming experience, it was satisfying on that level. Like just...
I did everything.
The reward center in your brain was pleased by this game.
Yes, the reward center in my brain did light up every single time I found one of the chests out in the world. As much as I complain about open world games, it's like, that's the whole thing where I do, in fact, it's not like I like them or anything, Baka.
No, I understand. I mean, in fact, that probably is why you feel like they're just like you're just like, this is so unsatisfying, and I know it's unsatisfying. I'm doing it. It's like, I get it. Pizza tastes good, but you don't want to have pizza for every meal.
I do. I would. I would totally have pizza for every... Good glitch. I would totally have pizza for every single meal, by the way.
Ooh, yeah. So would I. If I could eat it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would die.
Yeah,
I would be like Bender in that one episode of Futurama.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you would die.
Look, the commentary in some of these videos is already, so I don't think that me going woo from the gases escaping would make that any better.
Yeah.
That only makes any sense if you watch that episode.
Watch that specific episode.
I hope everybody here watching this series is a big fan of Futurama.
That sub-series of the Thing Longer and the What If Machine. This will make perfect sense.
Anyway, yeah, so if you're wondering what like a lot of the other side quests were, it's pretty much this. Yeah, you just kind of like go to find the thing, and then you go back and talk to the person, and they remember a bit more about their lives over time.
And it's going to explain everything.
I mean, it is explaining a lot of stuff right now.
Okay.
Sort of. Anyway, is this the point in time when I finally took out the short bow? Yeah, look at how much faster that shoots and everything.
That does a lot of damage.
I mean, that's the whole thing, though, where it's like if I punched them, they would just die instantly. But, hey, the DPS is good. We got to...
Yeah.
Something that you wouldn't really think about talking about in terms of Betrayer. Certainly, I didn't expect this at the start of the series, but yes, it has really excellent DPS potential. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to be taking me through the rest of the game. Sure, yes, the musket will destroy enemies in one hit as well. So will my melee, this and that. But let's be honest here. I'm here for functional weapons, not to style on everything. We had enough Doom guying around and killing skeletons here. I know.
The bow is mightier than the sword.
It's not even a sword. It's a little tiny dagger.
Oh.
You never get anything better in this game. Kind of disappointing.
Okay.
What? Gasp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope you do like reading, because that's
Yeah,
a lot of this part of the episode. But yeah, like I was saying, it's like you go and find like a thing. That's how like the clues are to continue on in the story, and then you usually talk to like a shade ghost, and then you report back to the regular ghost. I don't know. I don't know why there's two different classifications of ghost in this game. Finally. That's right. The maiden in red the entire time was the daughter of the Lord Governor.
Oh my god, it makes so much more sense.
That's... yes, this fits in a lot with what we've known about this character so far. And yes, now her name changes to Allison Markley. And for the fighting game version of my channel, that she is definitely going to be one of the combatants. Now we have a real name for her.
Allison Markley, a.k.a. the Maiden in Red.
Well, we could just call her Allison Markley. I feel like everybody's going to know exactly who I'm talking about when they see her, right? You know, I could actually... You know, I've talked about the dumb fighting game thing for the channel. If I just went and got like one of the WWE games where you can create a wrestler sort of characters, I could actually make that happen.
You could probably do that, yeah. I mean, you'd have the guy from...
Just imagine
Dead
a
Cells.
like 500-pound man dressed up as Baba.
Dead Cells guy, whatever... The character.
Oh, we've gone through this so many times. Yeah, it's like we got like Dead Cells guy, we got like the Knight, we got Allison Markley, of course, from this series. I'm gonna go and get like Boone from Sexy Brutale, a series that we still have yet to complete.
Yes, I would say the few of those, like a few of the
Zardo, of course, from Tower Climb, who I always feel like is a character that should actually be in a fighting game.
What about like a few of the random Sonic characters, like that no one remembers?
No, I haven't played any Sonic games. Once we play Sonic 06, we're of course gonna have what is that character's name? Mephistopheles?
I don't know.
No. Yes. I can't
You're
remember.
talking about the cat, like Mephisto or whatever, I think?
No, it's Oh my god. Oh no, we're talking about Sonic again.
You're betraying.
Okay, this is a dark god that has taken the form of Shadow the Hedgehog. So he sort of looks like Shadow if he was extra edgy.
Oh, wow. So kind of like Shadow of Sonic. Which is probably what they were thinking.
Yes. Probably. Yeah, almost definitely. But you know, he's also like way more of a I don't even know what you'd call it, a villainous type. Shadow, of course, is an anti-hero, sort of. He's really not that much of an anti. He's really just a hero, but he is part of. I mean, come on, even like he's going on like missions for the government for the most part at this point in time. It's like he's not even as he's got more regulation over him than Sonic does when he's trying to save the world. Think about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, and then that's like the straight villain of Shadow. We'll talk about this in Sonic 06.
Okay,
we
will.
that
Yeah,
series.
yes. Okay.
He's gonna be a big player in Shadow's storyline at least, and partially Silver's. Really more shadows, though.
Okay. So what's going on in the Betrayer?
In the Betrayer, this is another one of those interstitial areas where I am. It doesn't have like a large. We're looking at one of the scraps of paper to make sure that everybody can see the lore. I did die yet again.
Mm-hmm.
That's happened, 3-4 times in this series now.
So was the guy
it's important,
who left Tabitha to die, was he the betrayer? Or did that start a plague? Or
I mean, yes. Yes, he is.
Okay.
But we'll find out more about that later.
Okay. Oh, the Governor General, yes.
Yes. As it turns out, James Markley, the Governor General, is kind of a heel, killing his wife. Actually, that's not even unusual for the rest of the stories in this game either. Oh, man. I did all of them.
Okay, nice. And
but
you found that they formed a really coherent and thoughtful narrative when you get all the information.
No, they were all really just... those ones were all just very... They're just like short ghost stories type things.
Okay.
For the most part.
Those are those ferns.
Actually, not even like ghost stories. They're more just like terrible stories of human evil.
I do like the wind effects in this area, just like slapping.
Oh, the wind effects are actually all over the game. It's just that's part of the whole like stealth mechanic that I never use.
Oh, okay. Could you explain on that a little bit?
You're supposed to be like moving when there is when there's like wind happening to make sure that you aren't heard by the enemies, or you can run up and punch directly through their rib cage.
Well, you got these silver tipped brass knuckles.
Oh man, that would be pretty cool. Go full Shatterhand in this game, but no, you see the dumb little knife that I have. Thanks, John.
John has the merchant?
Yeah.
Okay.
He leaves a lot of those small notes whenever you go to places. Yeah. Usually it's just on like, hey, I got more stuff here. That one is a little bit more ominous.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I know. I've punched through a lot of skeletons. I guess maybe he's seeing it for the first time now.
It's dangerous.
Wherever that guy might be.
It's dangerous to go alone. Go alone. Take this for a price.
Obviously. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, I ain't running a charity here.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, I don't know who else you're selling or who you're even planning to be using this money with. Whatever.
And you're a merchant. Who are you buying this stuff from?
Well, he said that he was finding it around.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you go.
He was procuring wares around here.
Strange,
but yes, interstitial area, so no thing where I have to go around to each one of the totem deals. Really can just leave.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's like I said, the Allison no longer moves around places, so I don't even need to unring the bell. Silence the bell.
Unring that bell. Can't unring
that bell. Yes, I said it again. We did an entire bit about that, and I totally forgot.
Well, it's a great word. It makes sense. You use time travel to unring the bell.
Look at all of these. I had so many melee focus things on there. I don't even know if they stack. I just did it anyway. But in case you were wondering, oh come on,
what's
these little hive things around here? Even though it's as easy as just kind of like walk around them. Oh, I want my arrow back. Geez, you guys. Yeah, it's like you can really just walk through and be totally fine. I have like 4 water skins at this point. I don't really need to worry too much about taking minor environmental damage, really. All right. And then here, the final area of the game, the Forbidden Wilds.
Wow.
That's right.
Are you allowed to be there?
No, I don't even know what I'm allowed to do and everything. Of course, we're going to get like full explanation as to who my character is and what they're doing here and everything by the end of the game. Of course.
Yeah.
But
you told me to trust you.
I told you. I did the Santa voice. So yeah, this is an interesting place. I have not even rang the bell, and we're already in the other world.
Yeah.
So
It goes from black and white to white and black.
it's a very marked change.
It's huge.
But yes, I suppose for the final area of the game, that sort of makes sense. No finding bells here at all, I think. Or if there was one, I certainly... Okay, there's like sort of a weird thing, but yeah, we'll get that. We'll see that soon enough.
Are these voice acted, by the way?
No.
Okay.
There's no voice acting in this game. Come on.
Because I'm always hearing people...
Yeah, that is not a... Yeah, this is what I'm... That is not a clapper. I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a meaningful thing that you identify it as a clapper, because there's also like a bell that I find later, but or if it's just a glitch, but I don't know. Like if it's just like, yes, you identify this as the bell, even though it's not. I don't know.
Does red indicate the presence of magic? You found a red cloth.
No, red indicates that Allison was here.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's not a, you know, she's the only person that wears red, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's an incredibly rare type of clothing.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. And since I already talked to the Lord Governor, got quite a bit of information on that already.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, as you can probably tell, James Markley just tried to murder his entire family, more or less.
Yeah.
And was successful.
Bit of a jerk.
Bit of a jerk. But I mean, you know, hey, haven't we all tried doing, you know, the fratricide and everything? No, that's familicide?
Yeah, I mean, it's uxicide, fratricide, daughtercide.
Yep.
Planetside.
Uh-huh. Like the hit MMO. Was that an MMO?
I think so. I was just riffing. Sometimes I do some improv.
Word association, if you will.
Yeah. It's a little bit of word association.
What? Huh?
Windy.
I genuinely don't know if that's supposed to be meaningful or if that's just a weird glitch, because that is how she gave me the clapper back in the second fort area that I went to, but this time it's the same message, but
I think you're just supposed to kill
anyway,
some spooky.
tougher guys. They're ghosts, but they have deer skeletons on them.
Ooh.
That's it. I still go down in one hit.
You've got to...
no, that is not a double ghost. That's two of them in one.
Oh. You've got to participate in the killing of a sacred deer.
Oh, yeah.
You got my reference?
I mean, and by a sacred deer, you mean roughly like 40 of them, because that's mostly the only enemy that you're going to be finding here.
Uh-huh.
And, although there is like this one... there is like this this group of enemies here to guard the fast travel point to the village. It's like, it's also not really, that's the only places that regular enemies are going to be appearing. It's otherwise the deer ghosts. A lot of ghosts around here, none that you can talk to though.
Water everywhere.
Well, especially that one barrel of water that I just went to.
Oh, yeah.
As you do. Remember, your healing is drinking from water in this game. Still kind of silly, but you know what? It works.
Yeah, I was watching a basketball game, and two players got injured, but then shortly came back after. Like, it looked like a serious injury, but then they were, like, playing 10 minutes later. And... one of the commentators says they must have some good water back there.
What a weirdly apropos story.
This happened yesterday.
Really?
Yes. Huh. It wasn't even like...
It's a good thing we waited so long to do this episode.
Yeah.
Deer skull, value 50. Oh, hell yeah, man. James Howe, really big fan of getting a bunch of deer skulls. Like, actually, I don't know. I assume that it's Howe giving me stuff here, but I don't know what the conversion rate is, considering he never appears.
Well, that's what he's doing this for. He's not doing this for, like, money to feed his family or whatever. He's doing this because he just loves deer skulls. Can't get enough of them.
Deer skulls, the regular skulls, just a lot of stuff. Hey,
what's going on there?
That was open?
So this is
again, that is not the clapper for a bell.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know if it just kind of gets like glitchy at this part of the game or what.
But what are you expecting to find here? You're expecting to find like the bell?
No, I'm just kind of like looking around. Got the only piece of the only lore text thing that was, I thought you might need this, and there was nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
There was one normal item, the headdress, and then there were two things that were identified as like a clapper for a bell.
By the way, the image of that woman burning at the stake is probably the only thing in this game that has really been, at all like a striking image. Like,
Oh, don't worry, you're going to be getting a lot more on what's up with that.
Okay. I'm assuming that was like Tabitha.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
no, you got it.
I mean, obviously.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, is it the arrowhead pendant or is it a clapper of a bell?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, I cannot identify objects anymore. Everything looks like a bell. I knew that going into the other world this many times was going to have ill effects.
There it is. The betrayer.
And there it is. Yes. Then I can also tell her about Fates of Rates and give her gifts, which is a little bit...
Feels a little bit thematically inappropriate at this point, like right now.
Indeed. Anyway.
Hey, did you hear about the Wraiths? But no. So that's the story. There's not much else.
That is the story, yes.
Okay.
Although, once again, I mean, of course, that explains... And you can see how that explains all of the ghosts and skeletons, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Of course.
There was some dark energy at work there, and it created those things.
I guess that's pretty much... that's pretty much the only way to look at it, right?
I mean, I gotta say, that's not terribly satisfying. So...
Nope.
Wait, so when you told me...
No.
You told me to trust you.
No, I put my hands on your shoulders and spoke to you like Anna and told you that I was Santa. I don't even know.
You told me.
What did we even say earlier? I don't even remember.
I think you were trying to be villainous, and I don't remember.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it just sounded like Wilford Brimley or Santa Claus.
What's the difference?
Well, one brings sweets, the other one cannot handle sweets.
Yeah, true. Still talked about, like, should we eventually just go play Barkley Shut Up and Jam Guy?
We probably should. Yeah.
I don't even know, because it's like, I don't know. It's such a very, like, late 2000s game.
It might be funny, or it might be just like, oh, okay, you're referencing that meme that only I remember.
And a meme from 12 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Or even more. I think that was like 2004 or 2005. Or not quite. No, it's late 2000s. Had to be.
I want to say, like, yeah, like late-ish.
Maybe early 2010s.
Anyway, at this point in time, now you go around to every one of the ghosts that you've helped out and tell them to get out of here already. Get going. You get like a little bit of a cap to their story and everything.
Yeah.
You can also tell them to either just like, hey, let go of your burdens or whatever, or you can say, haha, go to hell, nerd. I just decide to go with the be at peace one, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
I don't really know if there's like a difference between the two.
I can't condone this mascara. On the other hand, I have an achievement where if I send you all to heaven, I get a little bit of an achievement. Just in the game.
Achievement specifically is just to get rid of all the ghosts. I don't know if it says specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, listen.
But anyway, I did that off screen. Don't worry.
Okay, thank God.
There was plenty more ghosts, but it's like their whole spiel is not going to make too much sense if we didn't show what the story was.
I just like that they've gone through the incident like 5 or 6 separate times, not like just recounted. Oh yeah, well I was in the woods and then there was an arrow that trapped me under the woods, so then I had to shoot this other guy with an arrow. It's just like,
anyway, final boss time.
Oh, what? Okay.
It is, yeah. No, we have lessened her anger by getting rid of all the ghosts enough. Uh-huh. And now, although she still did the like scream thing, where like what happens when you did go near one of the I can't the marker things, the totems.
Who are you, by the way?
I don't know.
I really want to know.
Some guy.
Okay.
No, I don't think there's any more explanation than that. You're some guy who I guess probably got shipwrecked, and that's all. That's all we get. We don't even get a name for the main character.
Uh-huh. So
he's John Betrayer.
This is more unsatisfying than listening to the song "Who Are You," in terms of just getting "Who Are You," like
in terms of understanding who you are.
I really want to know.
Anyway, it's about like 5 different waves of enemies of increasing difficulty, and it is actually kind of difficult.
I mean, we do
like there's a lot of enemies you're fighting here. And this is a fairly open area to be doing so.
Just to be clear, in "Who Are You," because I don't want this to be unclear.
You don't want people telling you in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sitting you down, taking you by the shoulders, and using the Santa Claus voice to explain to you.
I like the song "Who Are You." I think it's a great job. I think it's neat that the Who managed to put together multiple songs with "Who" in the title that use it grammatically. I think that's really impressive.
That is kind of a funny thing. It's just like, yeah, that's you did it, guys. Yeah. That's your name.
And I mean, that was like years after they formed.
Hey. There we go, everybody.
Uh-huh.
Finally.
Uh-huh.
It took the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
There's the betrayal.
We are
very satisfying, right?
So Allison betrayed her.
No, that was just James Markley.
Oh, okay. But then are they the same person? Are Allison and Tabitha the same person?
You said Tabitha?
Tabitha,
no.
I guess. Oh.
No, Allison's right here.
Oh, okay. So it's a straightforward tale of this one guy being bad and betraying people.
Yep.
And in the end, so you aren't like a character. You're just an entity who
I'm a hand that wields the most powerful pocket knife in all existence.
You woke up on the shore of the ocean, and you started walking inland, and you solved the betrayal problem. Why?
Betrayal problem, yes.
What was your motivation? What did you get out of this? What were you doing this?
I got a lot of loot. Look at that. I got like 1,500 loot here.
You're just a machine for...
Oh, by the way, for some reason, despite the fact that was the final boss, there's still also one more battle against a bunch more of the conquistadors here. For some... I really don't know why.
Yeah, no, it feels like... I'm going to say this is a bit narratively unsatisfying. I'm going to be honest. I'm like the story...
Really?
Honestly, the story with John and Allison and Tabitha, fine. That actually was... They did a good job with the writing, I think. It just was like, I just don't feel like I have a big reason to care.
It sort of kind of came all in one big chunk.
Kind of like it was like 2 minutes worth of story. Like not even 2 minutes of describing things. It's like, no, she fell in love with a native boy and then they killed him. Or they killed her and then they also killed natives and they made it look like it was a massacre. Blah, blah, blah.
And then he killed his wife, and then he tried to kill Allison.
Yeah. That's the story?
That's the story.
Okay. I gotta say, I'm not terribly impressed.
No. And like I said, there were a lot of other... Hey, we're out of the other world again.
Oh, okay. And...
But, yeah, it's just like... No, that's pretty much the entire story. And there were a bunch of other smaller stories with like different ghosts, but all very disconnected and mostly like the same thing. It was hardly the only time that a pregnant woman died in this game, by the way.
Ooh, that's rough. Oh, to be the vice president pregnant? I didn't realize that. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, they said that many times.
Okay. Well, I wasn't.
No, you're too busy talking about the Who.
Yeah. Anyway, my only point with the Who, with Who Are You, is that it feels like there's a big delay. Like you listen to it, you're like, okay, they're gonna get to the part where they say "Who are you" now, and then it's like you wait for 30 seconds, and it's like, no, they just never get to it. And then 15 seconds later, it's there, and it's like, okay, this is pretty badass, but I don't know.
Huh? What? Huh? What? Huh? What? Huh? Oh.
In this game.
No, the game's over.
Okay.
So what was that ending?
Would you say this is one of your favorite games of all time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
So, what was that ending?
It just kind of... I don't know what that ending was. It didn't feel like very much.
Allison just says, I'm sorry, by the way. And it's like, what? Sorry for what? And then then you're in the other world again, and there's ghosts?
She's sorry for betraying you.
I guess? I honestly don't know what to make of that.
Okay. Well, for customer support...
And then the game just abruptly ends.
I like that there's a customer support line at the end. Like, just in case you didn't like this for whatever reason.